Welcome to SumItUp. My name is Tad, this is Jordan. Today we're going to round out our series on business entity types by talking about a C-corporation. Now I will tell you that most of you will never have a C-corporation. However, it is an entity type that you need to know about, especially if you're going to get really, really big. So with the C-corporation, unlike the other entities we talked about, like an S-corporation or a partnership, where we mentioned that they're pass-through entities, where they don't necessarily write a check for the tax, but it flows through to the personal. The C-corporation, after you do the tax return, it actually has to pull out its checkbook, the company does, and write a check for the taxes. That's the difference between a C-corporation and those other pass-through entities. Now they did change it now with the C-corp. They get to pay a flat 21%. So that's the one, I'm going to point that out as the one good thing, I guess, with the C-corporation. I'm not a huge fan of C-corporations for small businesses.
Right.
But, you know, for those wealthier companies with tons of shareholders, that flat tax really does help.
Well, another thing is that any money that besides payroll is taxed as a dividend. So if you take money out of the company for yourself, then that's what we call double taxation. And so at that point, you are taxed as well. Next thing is, it is meant for large companies, like public companies, companies that you buy stock in. So like on the S&P 500, the stock market, right? Or the Dow Jones. And usually a C-corp is used to raise a lot of money for the company. That is one of the main purposes of turning your company into a C-corp.
And many times the C-corp owners, the shareholders, most of the time you don't know the other shareholders, right? So
yeah.
Most of the time with a partnership, most partnerships and S-corps, it's usually a best friend or it's somebody that you trust a ton to be an owner with you. C-corps, that's usually not the case.
So to sum it up, a C-corp pays its own tax at flat 21% rate federal plus the state taxes. And then remember that any money pulled out that above your paycheck that you take out is taxed as a dividend. And this is why they call it double taxation. And remember that it's meant for larger companies. Generally, they're publicly traded. Sometimes they're not. But they use them to raise a lot of money from outside investors. And as Tad said, they're just not flexible for small businesses. So thank you for watching today. Be sure that you drop us some comments, any questions you have, and we'd be glad to help you out.
And with this being the last video, feel free to leave a comment about other entity types we've talked about. If you have any other questions about any of the other entities we've talked about, we're happy to come back and answer those for you.